There's something about the modern physics and the deterministic approach doesn't really explain how we live day to day. How many of you feel that free will is an illusion? And by free will, I mean that you make the decisions or choices that you make, and it is not something that is based on outwards of circumstances. So, hi. So this video is going to be about three things, as always it is. So one thing is how quantum and consciousness people have coming up with these crazy theories. How creativity and new ideas can be explained through the model of quantum mechanics. And finally, what you can do to do your own experiment in this consciousness being a vital participant in this quantum mechanics frame of looking at the world. So I'm not somebody who is in any way affiliated to physics as such. I'm an architect and I'm a design thinker. So I'm somebody who helps startups and entrepreneurs come up with products and services using design thinking methodologies. However, in one of my, like as I've gone through my research, I have found that there is like a couple of people who have some of these interesting theories and hypotheses on how quantum mechanics has several implications on consciousness. So make no mistake, the whole thing is there's a lot of information out there, and you don't know what is accurate and what is not. So a lot of this could be pseudoscience, right? Like things that may not really be accurate. But at the same time, some of these theories are really interesting. The paradigm of science that we look at currently is based on a deterministic model. It's almost a Cartesian Newtonian model, like what was built by Rene Descartes and the Isaac Newton. So, if what that deterministic model means is that if you, like a child, if you keep asking, the question why, you keep asking, like, hey, I just don't like chocolate ice cream. Like, why? I don't know, maybe because I never, felt I like that flavor. Why? Because I guess my personality or my psychology is not tuned for it. Okay, why? So you keep on going asking why questions. At the end, where do you reach is 4.8 billion years ago, there was a explosion, and the planets formed, etc. So it's like you could like set up like a bunch of stepping stones all the way back to the Big Bang. So I have this joke where if a cousin of my, like the kids, they ask me, keep asking me why I'm doing something. So I tell them, 4.8 billion years ago, there was an explosion. One thing led to another, and now we are here, making this decision of me, taking chocolate ice cream instead of vanilla. So absurd as it may sound, that's like a hyperbole. But there's a new way of thinking about the world where if it is a deterministic model, this new way of thinking challenges us. So why would the deterministic model have any what doesn't work about it? So the deterministic model is not giving us a satisfying answer about free will in the sense about human participation in this reality. Like, how much is me making a decision or a choice is me making it? Like, how do I know it is not some external factors coming? Of course, it seems like there are some external factors, but this new paradigm of thinking, which goes back, which our laws are based on, which how we pretend to be in the world. You don't go around, once you understand that we are in a deterministic model of the universe, you don't say to people that, hey, like, I can't be held responsible, didn't have any free will. No, you go around the world as if you are responsible. When you make a mistake, you say sorry. So which means, like, the adage free will is an illusion keeps coming up, because you just cannot see that you are a deterministic participant in this reality. So therefore, this quantum mechanics comes in. Okay, so quantum mechanics is as opposed to classical mechanics. Classical mechanics is the Newtonian model. Quantum mechanics, on the other hand, it posits a theory that that there's a lot of stuff happening with the universe which we don't really cannot be really explained by classical mechanics. Of course, there are some things like the double slit experiment and the experiments done by Erwin Schrödinger and Niels Bohr, and the Einstein's theory of relativity and special theory of relativity. Like they keep expounding on like how the way we look at the world is not really as it seems. So when the Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics was done, like the Schrodinger and Niels Bohr, it seems that they found that without a participant observer, the particles don't, the elementary particles where quantum mechanics really the stage of where quantum mechanics happens, they really don't you know work unless there is an observer. So it's almost like how in a video game or in a 3D rendering software, like unless you look into that viewport, those pixels are not generated. And when you look back in that viewport, those new pixels are like constructed again. So it's almost like the reality is being created by consciousness. So this is like a bit how this would be explained as okay, it might be absurd to hear me say this out, but maybe because I don't understand the concept really well, and I'm just spitballing here to see like if there is some concept or an idea that comes through. Is that consider that the current paradigm of physics or first principles, as you'd say, it comes from elementary particles giving rise to atoms, atoms giving rise to molecules, molecules coming together and forming cells, cells forming tissues, organs, and creating the brain. And from the brain, like because of the emergence of the neurons, you have consciousness. Now, this is upward causation, right? From elementary particles, molecules, all the way to creating the brain. So upward causation, as spoken by Amit Goswami, he's a quantum physicist. So he talks about how, like the deterministic model of the universe, like because of these quantum particles, like you are basically a machine and you function because of how the quantum particles collided and came through. Like and that is the modern, or the contemporary view of physics is that all of this, the reality, the universe, and everything, it is chance. It's all an accident, and the odds of this happening, like it's kind of absurd because it's going reverse of entropy. So again, like these are like hard physics concepts which an architect is doing it. And come on, an architect is an engineer who can't do math. So it's like I'm just I know like a real physics person is gonna like rip me apart in the comments below, but I'm gonna risk it because this sounds all really interesting. So taking the uh, you know uh, the upward causation model and flipping it would mean that it's not that the elementary particles which give rise to one thing lead to another to cause consciousness, but it's the other way around. It's probably consciousness causing down into going down and affecting the elementary particles. So the absurd implication of this, I say it absurd because it's not the normal view of thinking, but in some ways we do pretend to live like this. That if you're walking down the street and if a stone or I don't know like a fruit falls on your head, it's not that it was caused by random. It's like you are responsible for it because you in some way in your mind you caused that to happen. So that is the bit weird thing about having your consciousness as fundamental, because you're not only just responsible for your life, you're responsible for everything in reality. So that that's a huge responsibility or weight to bear, I suppose. But then again, you're not alone. There's like 7.8 billion people, so you can like put the blame on them too. So so would that mean that most of what why this keeps coming up is who are the people who keep pulling this up is the people who come up with books like those, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. he talks about auto suggestion, and he talks about how, if you have a goal in mind and if you keep repeating it, day in and day out, it's going to manifest itself automatically. So which is like something, where people from the Rhonda Byrne's secret and the law of attraction people come in. So the implications of that is, then again, how do you control your thoughts, and how do you make that happen? All of those shall be explored. So this could be something which may lead nowhere. I accept it. There's like hope clouds observation. Do I hope that this is true? Which is an interesting thing. Like if it is, then it's worthy of experimenting. And considering in design thinking that you are somebody who is like reversing entropy, like the design thinker is that he brings order where there is chaos. He or she brings order where there is chaos. And design thinking, again, like concept, case study, and prototyping. These are the three things you need as a design thinker to get started to do design thinking. And this fact about quantum creativity, right? Like scientists, physicists, and all, like physicists really want to see turn everything into a mathematical equation. So it's going to be a lot of so difficult for architects like myself. But regardless, now physicists are venturing into how you can take consciousness into a mathematical model. And there was a theory of using an integrated model of integrated systems of the human consciousness, and it was denoted with the Greek symbol phi. And you have a phi number for how much integrated connections or networks you have. So considering that an earthworm which should have like only 300 neural connections would have a smaller phi number, whereas a human being would have a larger phi number. And artificial intelligence systems like GPT-3 and a new one by Microsoft, whose name I don't remember, would have even higher phi models than the earthworm because of the neural network connections. So further, there was this another Tim. I've forgotten the name, but he was talking about quantum creativity having coming from your neurons with like quantum noise producing because of the particles going through like micro or nano tunnels in the brain. So there are like these some crazy theories out there, and I would suggest you check it out in the platform YouTube itself. So here's a thing that you could like do an experiment on, that I've borrowed from Think and Grow Rich. I'm somebody who is assuming Think and Grow Rich is real and that it works because of the virtue of that because I'm open to doing it. There might be some personality types who may not be open to Think and Grow Rich as much as I would be. So and I accept it. Like this is for those people who are open to try this. So in Think and Grow Rich, it's from the New Thought philosophy that happened in the 20th century. So what you got to do is you got to come up with like a goal card, and in the goal card you write a goal card. It's basically like it's a small piece of paper, and you write down by what day you want to accomplish something. Like whatever you want to accomplish. Let's say it's money. Let's take money because it is a tangible measurement, that you're going to earn $50,000 per by year 2022 December 31st. And what kind of service would you be rendering in return for it? And you look into that card in the morning as soon as you wake up, and in the evening before you retire to bed. So try it out for the next 30 days and see what works, because there's some interesting experiments to try out with yourself, I think. And further, there is this one video that I would like to check out. This was prompted to me by Siddharth Rajshekhar, my mentor. He's a digital coach, and in that he talks about The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. It's in his channel, or you can find it on YouTube. Just find Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. It's a 32-minute video. It's just a voice recording. It was recorded in the 1950s. So just after all the World War IIs and the beginning of the Cold War, and after the Korean War. So regardless, Earl Nightingale has an interesting voice recording where he talks about the strangest secret, which is basically the secret and the law of attraction. But it's a very interesting thing nonetheless. I want you to listen to this every day. Okay, and in the morning and once in the evening. So for 30 days, that's the basic exercise. For the next 30 days, once in the morning, once in the evening, read the goal card, listen to Stranger Secret, do all your work stuff. In the evening, listen to Stranger Secret, read the goal card, move on. So that's the scene of how you could probably try to bring this consciousness, this fundamental idea into your life. And let me know how it works in the comments below. Huh? Like, good luck.